Good morning, students. Today we're going to discuss JEE Mains January 22nd first shift paper. I am Ranjit Kumar, Mathematics faculty with Narayana Group. So today's about glimpse about today's paper. Far from the reactions so far we are getting from students who have already given the exam. Exam seems to be slightly moderate to difficult, and the most unexpected paper being physics. Okay, because maths is mostly moderate to tough. There are no surprises in maths, and as far as the students have been informing that there are slightly difficult questions in physics as well as chemistry now. Okay, so hopefully you guys might have given your paper very well, and the guys who are going to write tomorrow and the other days, you can just go through the questions quickly so that it can give you a little bit confidence about the examination. So we'll just get into the questions. So we are going to solve the first question here, and the concept involved in this question is series and sequences. Okay, and very fundamental question. So if you guys have revised your previous year questions of JEE Mains, one could easily solve this question in less than 2 minutes. Okay, so let me take through this question. So the given information here is sum of the first 4 terms of AP is 6. So it is just one basic formula. So Sn, sum of n terms of an AP will be n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is the first term and d being the common difference. So guys, it is given that sum of 4 terms of an AP is 6, which is S4 is equal to 6, and from this I can write 4 by 2 by 2a plus 3d is equal to 6. So if I solve this equation, I'm going to get 2, 2 and 3. I get one equation in A and D. 2a plus 3d is equal to 3. So this is my first equation. And S6, it is given that sum of first 6 terms is 4. Okay, so S6 is equal to 6 by 2 into 2a plus 5d is equal to 4, and from this I'm going to get the equation 2a plus 5d. 2 3s are 6 and 3 upon this side it will be 4 by 3. So I have two equations in two variables, a and d. Now upon solving them I'm going to get first term as well as the common difference of the AP. So if I subtracting 1 and 2, I'm going to get minus 2d is equal to 3 minus 4 by 3. Minus 2d is equal to 9 minus 4 by 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. 5 by 3. So this implies d is equal to minus 5 by 6. And then you're going to plug this value in this equation, any one of the equation, you're going to get a value as well. 2a minus 5 into 5 by 6 is equal to 4 by 3. So 2a is equal to 4 by 3 plus 25 by 6. So I'm going to simplify this. So what I'm going to get is 4 to the 8, 8 plus 25 is 33, 33 by 6. Once again 11 by 2. So guys, the value of 2a is 11 by 2 and d being minus 5 by 6, and the question asked here is sum of first 12 terms of an AP, so which is S12. S12 is equal to 12 by 2 into 2a, which is 11 by 2, plus n minus 1, which is 11, into d is minus 5 by 6. And so 6 into 11 by 2 minus 55 by 6. So I'm going to multiply this one. This is going to be 33 minus 55, which is minus 22. So the answer is minus 22. Yes, this is a straightforward question from series and sequences. So if you know basic formula of what is first term, what is common difference, and sum to n terms of an AP, you could easily solve this question in very less time. Okay, let us move on to next question. Yeah, and then there is a question from binomial expansions. Okay, and combined with series and sequences. Once again, a very good question, very standard questions, which has many times you might have seen this question many times in your PYQs. Okay, so we're going to solve this one. So first one, you need to identify the given expansion, given summation. So 1 plus x, 2 into 1 plus x whole square, 3 into 1 plus x whole cube. This is clearly an AGP. So if you know how to solve an AGP, AGP is an arithmetic geometric progression. So I'm going to take S is equal to 1 plus x plus 2 into 1 plus x whole square plus 3 into 1 plus x whole cube, so on, 100 into 1 plus x whole power 100. So if you are aware of the method how to solve an AGP sum, okay, so what I'm going to do here in the AGP, common ratio R is 1 plus x and the difference being 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the S with 1 plus x, which is R. Then I'm going to write the sequence of the terms and I'm going to subtract. So this is going to be 1 plus x whole square plus 2 into 1 plus x whole cube and so on, 100 into 1 plus x whole power 101, and this will be 99 into 1 plus x whole power 100. This is the standard procedure how you work on an AGP summation. Okay, so when I subtract these both things, S into 1 minus 1 plus x will give me minus x is equal to 1 plus x, and guys, when I subtract these both, so what I'm going to get is 1 plus x whole square plus, and once again 3 minus 2, 3 minus 2 is 1, 1 plus x whole cube and so on. Till here I'm going to get 1 plus x whole power 100, and then minus, there is an extra term here, 100 into 1 plus x whole power 101. Okay, now guys, you can easily observe, one can easily observe that this is a geometric progression. So first term being 1 plus x and there are 100 terms and common ratio is 1 plus x. So what is the sum of n terms of a GP? So I'll just quickly give you the formula: a into r power n minus r to the power r minus 1. So a into r power n minus 1 by r minus 1. I'm going to substitute the same thing here. The first term being 1 plus x into r is 1 plus x, 1 plus x. There are 100 terms in this expansion, in this summation, minus 1 by 1 plus x minus 1. And then there is an extra term here, 100 into 1 plus x whole power 101. This is equal to minus x into s. So once again, so I'm going to multiply this part, and this is going to be 1 plus x whole power 101 minus 1 plus x by x. 1 plus x minus 1 is x. So minus 100 into 1 plus x whole power 101. So now I'm going to bring this minus x to this side, so which will give me s is equal to 1 plus x 101 minus 1 plus x by minus x square, and this will be plus 100 into 1 plus x whole power 101 by x. Okay, yeah, so we'll just take it on to the next page, one more extra page. Yeah, so you can see here Yeah. So here we got this expression and we'll take it on to the next page. Guys, we are looking for x power 48 ka coefficient. So we're looking for x power 48 ka coefficient in the expansion of 1 plus x whole power 101 minus 1 plus x by minus x square and plus 100 into 1 plus x into 1 plus x whole power 101 by x. Okay guys, now if you observe the first part, if I need x power 48 ka coefficient, since there is already x square in the denominator, so what I am looking for in this expansion is x power 50 ka coefficient. So I'll just find 50 coefficient in this one. So coefficient of x power r in 1 plus x whole power n will be NCR. Okay. So what is coefficient of x power 50 here will be minus 101 C 50 minus 101 C 50, and here in this part I am not going to get a x power 48 coefficient plus once again here in this expansion I need x power 48 coefficient, but what I have in the denominator is x, so there is already power 1. So what I need is x power 50, x power 49. So x power 49, which will be 100 into 101 C 49. So your answer should be 100 into 101 C 49 minus 101 C 50. So this will be the summation answer. Okay, so you have to mark it from this one, option 2. Okay, and we will move on to the next one. Again, the basic fundamentals used in this topic are binomial coefficients and series and sequences involving AGP, arithmetic geometric progression. If you are really looking out to solve this type of questions, you have to be very good how to find the summation of an AGP. Okay, we'll move on to next question. Now once again a very straightforward question from matrices. Okay, so how do we solve such question? There's A is a 2 by 2 matrix, and what is given here, det of a to the power 2025 minus 3 a to the power 2024 plus a to the power 2023. So guys, you can clearly see a power 2023 is something which I can take common from the whole all the three terms, and I also know the property that det of AB, where A and B are two square matrices, I can express it as det A into det B. Now this one I am going to write it as det A power 2023 into, and what is left inside, a to the power a square is minus 3a plus I. Okay, now what you have to do is just find a square minus 3a plus I value. Okay, so we already have a, so let me find a square as well. A square is equal to 2 3 3 5 into 2 3 3 5. So what is a square here? Multiply 4 plus 9, which is 13, 6 plus 15, which is 21, 6 plus 15 once again 21, 9 plus 25, which is 34. This is a square. So what about 3a? 3a is 6, 9, 9, 15. Now I'm going to find value of a square minus 3a, the matrix a square minus 3a plus I, which is equal to 13, 21, 21, 34 minus 3a. 3a is 6, 9, 9, 15 and plus 1, 0, 0, 1. So the matrix will be 13 minus 6 is 7, 7 plus 1, 8. 21 minus 9 is 12, 12 plus 0, 12. 21 minus 9 is 12, 12 plus 0 is 12. 34 minus 15 is 19 plus 1 is 22. So guys, now we need to find the determinant of this one. So det of a square minus 3a plus I will be 8 into 20 minus 12 into 12. So 160 minus 144, which is 60. And there is also det a power 2023. So you can easily find out what is determinant of the given matrix. What is determinant of the given matrix? 10 minus 9, which is 1. So your answer finally, it should be 16, 1 into 16. Okay, again the fundamentals used in this topic are determinant of a matrix and properties of determinant of a matrix and basic multiplication of two matrices. Of course, in algebra, multiplication, addition and subtraction. If you are good with those basics, you can easily solve this question. Once again, an easy question from this paper. Yeah, we'll move on to next question. Once again, domain of a function. Every year mains paper is incomplete without such a question, which involves domains of logarithmic functions as well as inverse trigonometric functions. So people who wants to learn from this, once again it's just a reminder that you're going to see a question on domain involving logarithmic functions as well as inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, so how do we solve this question? So guys, ln 10 minus x is in the denominator. We already know 10 minus x should always be, the input to the logarithm should always be positive. So greater than 0. Okay, implies x should be less than 10. Okay, x should be less than 10. So, and one more thing, suppose if x is less than 10, see here 10 minus x should also not be equal to 1. This is a very important part in this question. Okay, so you don't want logarithm to be 0 because it is in the denominator of the fraction. Okay, so x less than 10 is what I got from first expression. And then what is domain of sine inverse x plus 2 by 2x plus 3. Okay, so domain of sine inverse x belongs to minus 1. The input to sine inverse function should always be between minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, so here x plus 2, the input of this function is x plus 2 by 2x plus 3, should always be between minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, now I'm going to solve this both inequalities separately. So x plus 2 by 2x plus 3 initially less than or equal to 1. So this is 1, and at the same time simultaneously I am going to solve x plus 2 by 2x plus 3 greater than or equal to minus 1. So from this I can write x plus 2 by 2x plus 3 minus 1 less than or equal to 0. Again, the most common mistake most of you might do is sending this 2x plus 3 onto this side, which is going to be a very common mistake done by most of the students. Why is it wrong? Because 2x plus 3 can be either negative or positive, and whenever it is negative, there is the inequality gets changed. Okay, so make sure that you bring the constant to the side and solve it. So what are we going to get after solving this one? Minus x minus 1 by 2x plus 3 less than or equal to 0. Now this minus I am going to multiply to the inequality, x plus 1 by 2x plus 3 will be greater than or equal to 0. From this you can find the values of x. So this is minus 3 by 2 minus 1 plus minus plus in the first case. At the same time I want to solve this one also. X plus 2 by 2x plus 3 plus 1 greater than or equal to 0. So it is 5x plus 5 by 2x plus 3. Sorry, this is 2x plus x, which is this is 2x plus x 3x plus 5 by 2x plus 3 positive. Okay, so guys, I'm going to plot that also on the same number line, or else I can change it here. So minus 5 by 3 and minus 3 by 2 greater than 0. This is the area I'm looking for, and then greater than 0, this is the area which we got in the first case, the values of x. Now what will be the intersection of these both? Okay, so this is the first case answer, and from minus 1 to this way, this, and so what are we going to get? This part is the intersection part, and this one along with x less than 0. So you should not forget this fact, x less than 9, at the same time x not equal to 9. X should be less than 10 and x not equal to 9. Now what I'm going to get is final answer. What you're going to get is x belongs to minus infinity to minus 5 by 3 in the first case. You can clearly see we can come up to this value, and then minus 1 union minus 1 to, see, because of this 9 in between, minus 1 to 10, there is 9 in between. If you don't take care of that, there is a chance that you might not get the answer properly. So minus 1 to 9 open interval union 9 to 10. So this should be your final answer, and based on what is given there, here you can clearly see what is the value of a, 5 by 3. Once again, do not take a as minus 5 by 3. Most of you might find it, you will not find any answer also, luckily. If you do that, and if there is a possible answer, you could easily lose your mark, positive mark. A is equal to 5 by 3, and b is equal to 9, and c is equal to 10. Okay, so what is the value he is asking us to find? B plus 9 plus C plus 10, 3A, which is 5. So what should be the answer? 24. So 24 should be the answer for this question. Again, once again, he is asking the same question every year. So if you are good with logarithms, how do you find domain of a logarithmic function and inverse trigonometric functions? Okay, one can easily solve this question. Only what you require is a practice. Okay, we'll move on to next question. Yeah, so once again, as a question from relations, there is always a question from relations every year, every shift, every paper. What you have to learn is types of relations, and how do you make certain relations by adding few elements so that it becomes symmetric or reflexive or transitive. Okay, so in this question, this is a slightly moderate question, not straightforward one, but if you spend enough time on this, an average person also could easily solve this question. So M is set of numbers 1, 2, 3, so on till 16. And how is the relation defined? It is defined that x comma y belongs to R. I mean, say, to the relation if 4y is equal to 5x minus 3. This implies for whatever value you pick x, 5x minus 3 should be multiple of 4, and both x and y are from the same set M. Okay. Okay, so let me put values 1, 2, 3 and let me verify. I'll just try to see how many relations am I going to get. How many elements are there in the given relation. Okay, so that's exactly is asking me to find. So initially I'll put x is equal to 1. Yes, if I put x is equal to 1, what is y value? 5 minus 3 by 4, which is 1 by 2, which is not possible as there is no 1 by 2 in the set M. Okay, and then you go on with x is equal to 2. So y is equal to x is equal to 10 minus 3, 7, 7 by 4, once again rejected. When x equal to 3, y is 5 3s are 15, 15 minus 3 is 12, 12 by 4 is 3. Yeah, so the first element in this relation is 3 comma 3. Okay, so at this point you don't have to worry that should I go substituting values like this. Okay, what you can do is continue doing this and try and see if there is a particular pattern attached to it, and you can clearly see if you can if you already know about series and sequences little bit. Okay, there is a hint coming up for us. So when you put x is equal to 4, you're getting y as 17 by 4, which is again rejected. When x is equal to 5, y is equal to 25 minus 3, 22 by 4, once again rejected. And one x is equal to 6. If you put x is equal to 6, 30 minus 3, 27, 4y is equal to 27, once again rejected. And when you put x is equal to 7, 4y is equal to 5 sevens are 35, 35 minus 3, 32. What is y? It's equal to 8. So 8, not 8, x value is, yeah, x value is 6 and y value is 8. X value is 6 and y value is 8. Now you can try to see whether there is a pattern attached to it. 3, 6, and right away we will go for x is equal to 9. When you put x is equal to 9, okay, so once I put x is equal to 6, 30 minus 3, sorry, x is equal to 7. X equal to 7. My bad, there is x is equal to 7. This is not x is equal to 6. X is equal to 7 comma 8. Okay, so there is an increment of 4 for the next element. So now I'm going to check for x is equal to 11 next. X is equal to 11. What I'm going to get y is 5 into 11, 55. 55 minus 3 is 52. 52 by 4 is 13. Yeah. So I can see there is a pattern here, 11 comma 13, and now you can extend the pattern. 3 plus 4 7, 7 plus 4 11, and 11 plus 4 15. Now what is the element we see? Again, this is also important for you to, if you put x is equal to 15, what will happen? What is y value? 5 into 15 is 75. 75 minus 3 is 72. 72 by 4 is 18. But 18 is not there in the set M. 18 is not there in the set M. So we are going to stop at this point. So 15 is not possible. Okay. So 3 comma 3, 7 comma 8, 11 comma 13. Okay. Now guys, tell me, if I have to make this relation symmetric. If I have to make this symmetric. So what is a symmetric relation? For all a comma b. What is symmetric? For all a comma b belongs to R, I want b comma a to be in R, right? So now 3 comma 3, you don't have to add anything for this. Okay. And for 7 comma 8, you need to add 8 comma 7. And for 11 comma 13, you need to add 13 comma 11. So you just need two elements to be added, so the relation will become symmetric. Okay, so the answer will be 2. So the more emphasis was to define the relation, to find the elements of the relation, rather than counting number of terms to be added so that the relation is symmetric. Okay, if you just know the basics of symmetric relation, and then if you know how to work out with the relation, given a condition, how do you determine the elements of the relation, you can definitely do this question. Okay, so again, this question is from relations. Regularly you see one question from relations in every shift, so it is very important for you to go through this question and then revise similar questions on this, so that you can do any type of relation question in the further examination. Okay.
Hello everyone. So the next questions in JEE Mains morning attempt. So this is a question here. So you can see that a pendulum is being balanced here by its weight and a horizontal electric field. So the force on that is going to be QE, and there is some tension T here. And they're asking for the resultant tension in this thread. So net force on this particle is 0. Therefore, tension is going to be equal to the resultant of mg and QE. So the answer here comes out to be the second option here. Going to the next question. This is a question based on Doppler effect, 2 dimensions. So there's a detector moving. Keep in mind, detector is moving from A to position B. If we join the lines here, so detector is having velocity some v upward. In this case, v here. Because it is in 2D, we will use the Doppler effect relation here. C plus minus V observer divided by C minus plus V source. We need to keep in mind this Vs and Vo are velocity of source and observer along the line joining. Along the line joining, we have to keep into account. So this is angle theta here. This is angle theta here. So we can see that velocity of the observer, sorry, in this case detector, is V cosine theta along the line joining, and it is here V cosine theta prime along the line joining. So the frequency that the detector will observe here at A is going to be f naught, speed of sound. As the velocity of detector is towards the source, we will add it, and they have said that speed of the detector is 35 times lesser. So C over 35 times cos theta. Now in this triangle, we need to keep in mind that this is 120 and 160 here. Ratio wise, if you see, it will be 40 times 3, and this here is going to be 40 times 4. So this side will be 40 times 5. So in terms of cos theta, if you observe, it is going to be 4 over 5 here. Entire thing divided by C minus velocity of the source, which is 0 in this situation. Solving for that, we get f naught 1 plus 4 over 35 plus 35 multiplied by 5, like this. Similarly, if we go for frequency observed at B, is going to be f naught C, again C by 35 into cos theta. In this case, cos theta is 3 by 5, and because observe detector here has velocity away from the source, we will put a minus sign here, divided by C. Again, velocity of the source is 0, so we will put it like this, giving us f observed is equal to 1 plus, this is going to be minus here, 3 over 35 into 5. And they are saying that the difference in frequency is 10 hertz. Solving further, Fa minus Fb is said to be 10 hertz. If you subtract these two, I get f naught 7 over 35 into 5 is equal to 10 hertz. Look at this case here. Solving here further will complicate it, but we did not solve every step at every step, so this made the problem a bit easier. So into 5, giving us f naught is equal to 5 into 525 into 10, 250 hertz. So option here, third one, is the correct one. Going for the next question here. This is a question based on moment of inertia. For a disk rotating about its center, moment of inertia is mr square by 2. Same, if the axis is taken this one, then moment of inertia here is mr square by 4. Using parallaxis theorem, about this axis, moment of inertia is going to be mr square by 4 I center of mass plus md square. In this case, d is r. So this gives us further 5 by 4 mr square. So keep in mind there are two such discs available here. So moment of inertia net is going to be 5 by 4 m1 r1 square plus 5 by 4 m2 r2 square for the same different disk here. So 5 by 4 here, and we can put the values. M1 is given to be 5, R1 is given to be 10 centimeter, so we can put it as 1 over 10 meter squared, plus M2 is given to be 10 kg multiplied by 50 centimeter, which we can put as 5 by 10 meter square. Solving it further, we get 5 by 4, 5 over 100 plus 250 over 100. So if we solve it further, we get 5 over 4 into 255 divided by 100. Solving it further, we can cancel this 20, 5, 5, 1, 51 and 5, 4, giving us 51 over 16 kg meter square, giving us fourth option as the correct one. Moving on, we have an adiabatic process where temperature changes in the given manner. It becomes 1/4 and volume increases to 8 times. So for adiabatic process, we have PV raised to power gamma is equal to constant. And there's a similar relation here, which is TV raised to power gamma minus 1 is equal to constant K prime something. So we'll be using this relation here. So initial temperature is T, volume is V, gamma minus 1 is equal to temperature becomes T by 4, volume becomes 8V raised to power gamma minus 1. In this case, gamma is called as adiabatic constant or ratio of specific heats. Solving it further, we get 1 is equal to 1 by 4, 8 raised to power gamma minus 1. So we can put it as 4 is equal to 8 raised to power gamma minus 1. To solve it, we can take ln here. So ln 4 is equal to gamma minus 1 ln 8, which can be written as 2 ln 2, as 4 is 2 square, gamma minus 1 ln 8 can be written as 2 cube, which is 3 ln 2. Cancelling ln 2, we get 2 over 3 is equal to gamma minus 1, finally giving us gamma is equal to 5 by 3, leaving third option as the correct one. Going to the next question here. We have 6 charges arranged in a circle, with 4 of which are positive and 2 of them are negative. Now looking at this situation, we can see electric field because of each charge, if you mark, because the positive charge is going to be in these directions, and because of negative charge, we can take, they will be attracted here, field like that. Looking at the case, we can see electric field because of the lower charge and the upper charge is going to get cancelled. So the net field here becomes 2kq by r square. Similarly, in this direction, we get 2kq by r square. For the net resultant, I need to take cosine component. So I have 2kq by r square cosine 30, which is root 3 over 2, and I have to take 2 such components. Going further, we get 2 root 3, k is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q over r square. Solving it further, we get root 3q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught r square. And looking the direction here, direction net electric field is going to be towards left. and as standard we take it as minus I cap. So in this case, again, the third option is the correct answer here. Going further. Okay, so thank you.
Hi everyone. Today's morning first shift paper 1. Already 5 questions are completed. The sixth question is, observe, the question is the solution of the differential equation x dy minus y dx is equal to square root of x square plus y square dx is, where c is integration of constant. The options are given. As usual, observing the equation x dy minus y dx is equal to square root of x square plus y square. Square root of x square plus y square. You observe that equation. Observing that equation, it is very clear the x dy y dx, x dy minus y dx is equal to square root of x square plus y square is there. By using that one, that is the given differential equation, we are going to write as the solution. Directly you observe the given differential equation is x dy minus y dx is equal to square root of x square plus y square dx. Now the left hand side, if you are observing x dy minus y dx, it is a part of differential of y by x. That's why we are dividing this entire equation with x square. That is x dy minus y dx upon x square is equal to their square root of x square plus y square upon x square dx. Now it is very clear the left side of the equation is differential of y by x. It is differential of y by x is equal to, now the RHS side is square root of x square plus y square upon x square. While we are taking common x square from the numerator, it is x times of square root of 1 plus y by x whole square upon x square dx. Now the numerator 1x and in the denominator 2x's are there. Out of them 1 is cancelled. Now it becomes as differential of y by x is equal to square root of 1 plus y by x whole square into dx by x. Now observe the LHS is differential of y by x and RHS is square root of 1 plus y by x whole square into dx by x, whereas dx by x is directly integrable. So the next term is, that is square root of 1 plus y by x whole square. We are taking that one into the left hand side. While we consider that one into the left hand side, it becomes as differential of y by x upon square root of 1 plus y by x whole square is equal to dx by x. Now it is very clear the LHS and RHS both are integrable. Now I am applying the integration on both sides, that is integral differential of y by x upon square root of 1 plus y by x whole square is equal to integral dx by x. Now directly it is a formula. Integral differential of y by x by square root of 1 plus y by x whole square is log of mod y by x plus square root of 1 plus y by x whole square to the base e is equal to log x to the base e plus log c to the base c, where c is the constant of integration. Now both sides we are taking the cancel out logarithms. Now we get this one as y by x plus square root of x square plus y square upon x square is equal to cx. Now from this we get y plus square root of x square plus y square is equal to cx square. Now from this square root of x square plus y square is equal to cx square minus y. This is the solution of the given differential equation. The problem is very simple, but they used the differentials concept. By using the differentials concept, it is very simple, and the level of the problem is as moderate it is. This is the first question, that is the sixth question. Now the next question. The number of values of x satisfying tan inverse 4x plus tan inverse 6x is equal to pi by 6, where x belongs to closed interval minus 1 by 2 root 6 comma 1 by 2 root 6 is, they are asking. That is the number of values of x satisfying this equation they are asking. It is, I think, combination of the inverse trigonometric functions and the quadratic equations. Observe here the given equation is, that is directly the given equation, tan inverse of 4x plus tan inverse of 6x is equal to pi by 6. Now if we are observing, to apply the tan inverse x plus tan inverse y formula, since we have the formula tan inverse a plus tan inverse b is equal to, we have the formula tan inverse of a plus b upon 1 minus ab, provided that ab is less than or equal to 1. So here first we are going to check whether the x value satisfies this condition or not. That is, it is very clear 4x into 6x is less than or equal to 1. That means x square is less than or equal to 1 by 24. So from this, mod x is less than or equal to 1 by 2 root 6. So therefore x belongs to closed interval minus 1 by 2 root 6 comma 1 by 2 root 6. So in the given interval, we are able to apply the formula tan inverse a plus tan inverse b is equal to tan inverse of a plus b upon 1 minus ab. Using this formula, it is very simple to calculate. That is, here we are going to write tan inverse of 4x plus 6x upon 1 minus 4x into 6x is equal to pi by 6. Now, this is equal to 4x plus 6x is 10x upon 1 minus 24x square is equal to tan of pi by 6. You know the tan pi by 6 value. The tan pi by 6 is 1 by root 3. Now, by simplifying this one, 10 root 3 times of x is equal to 1 minus 24x square. 1 minus 24x square. This is 1 minus 24x square. Now, here we are forming a quadratic equation. That is 24x square plus 10 root 3 times of x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now, according to the question, this equation has how many roots? How many roots in the interval x belongs to minus 1 by 2 root 6 comma 1 by 2 root 6. Now observing, it is very clear, it is 24x square plus 10 root 3x minus 1 is equal to 0. X square coefficient is positive. Hence, it is upward parabola. When x is equal to 0, it crosses the f of 0 is equal to minus 1. And it is very clear, when x is equal to 1 by 2 root 6, it is f of 1 by 2 root 6 is greater than 0. And when x is equal to 1 by minus 2 root 6, f of 1 by minus 2 root 6 is less than 0. So by using a root location theorem, this equation using the diagram, observe the diagram, x-axis, y-axis, and here we consider minus 1 by 26 plus 1 by 26, and when x is equal to 0, y is equal to minus 1, the graph of the parabola is like this one. So by using the root location theorem, there exists one real root for this equation in the interval minus 1 by 2 root 6 to plus 1 by 2 root 6. That is minus 1 by 2 root 6 to 1 by 2 root 6. only one real root exists. So the number of solutions of the given equation is only one. That is first option is right. The first option is right. This is very simple problem, but it is the combination of inverse trigonometric functions and the quadratic equations. Now the next one is the next question. Observe the next question. The next question is related to the definite integration, and it is combination of the definite integration and the greatest integer function concept. That is, you observe the question, the value of integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 dx upon integral part of x plus 4 is the value they are asking, where the box represents the greatest integer function. So while we are solving this type of problem, first you observe in the given domain of x, in the given domain of the x, how many integers exist? That is, here it is very clear, that is x varies from, since minus pi by 2 is less than, x is less than pi by 2. Now in between these, integral part of x values are, integral part of x is equal to, what we are getting here, minus 2, minus 1, 0 and 1 we get. So we are going to split the interval at exactly minus 1, 0 and 1. That is, suppose I start with, let I is equal to integral minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 dx upon integral part of x plus 4. Now according to the greatest integer function definition, it can be split at minus pi by 2 to minus 1. In the interval minus pi by 2 to minus 1, integral part of x becomes as minus 2. Hence it is dx upon minus 2 plus 4 plus integral minus 1 to 0 dx upon, in this interval it becomes as minus 1. Integral part of x becomes as minus 1. Minus 1 plus 4 plus integral 0 to 1 dx upon, in this interval integral part of x becomes as 0 plus 4 plus integral 1 to pi by 2 dx upon, in this interval where x varies from 1 to pi by 2, integral part of x becomes as 1 plus 4. Now by simplifying this one, directly we are simplifying this one. You know how we are simplifying this one? That is, the first one becomes as, that is, I is equal to integral minus pi by 2 to minus 1 dx upon minus 2 plus 4 is 2 plus integral minus 1 to 0 dx upon 3 plus integral 0 to 1 dx upon 4 plus integral 1 to pi by 2 dx upon 5. Now you know how we are integrating this one, that is 1 by 2 times of integral a to b dx. Integral a to b dx is equal to b minus a, that is minus 1 plus pi by 2, minus 1 plus pi by 2, it is plus 1 by 3 times of 0 minus of minus 1 plus 1 plus 1 by 4 times of 1 minus 0 plus 1 by 5 times of pi by 2 minus 1. Now we are simplifying this one. Minus 1 by 2 plus pi by 4 plus 0 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 plus pi by 10 minus 1 by 5. Now the simplification is pi by 4 plus pi by 10 becomes 7 pi by 20, and the sum of the constants becomes as minus 7 by 60. So the correct option for this problem is, the second option is the correct one. And the problem is very simple. The level of the problem is very easy. This is very simple problem, but it is the combination of greatest integer function. That's why you should take care of this problem. Carefully split the interval. That is very, very important. Next, the next question is, if you are observing, it is related to the trigonometry. Directly trigonometry. See that? If cos square 48 degrees minus sin square 12 degrees upon sin square 24 degrees minus sin square 6 degrees is equal to alpha plus root 5 beta upon 2. Then the value of alpha plus beta they are asking. The problem is direct application of the trigonometric standard formula. That is, observing the numerator, it is in the form of directly cos square A minus sin square B formula. It is a formula, you know that. Cos square A minus sin square B is equal to cos A plus B into cos A minus B. Similarly, the numerator, observing the numerator, it is in the form of sin square A minus sin square B. So it is also a direct formula. Sin square A minus sin square B is sin of A plus B into sin of A minus B. So the required one here for the solution, I am writing like this one: alpha plus root 5 times of beta upon 2 is equal to cos square A minus sin square B. It is cos of A plus B 48 plus 12 degrees into cos of 48 minus 12 degrees. Cos A plus B into cos of A minus B upon sin of A plus B, sin of 24 degrees plus 6 degrees into sin of 24 degrees minus 6 degrees. Now this is equal to cos 60 degrees into cos 36 degrees upon sin 30 degrees into sin 18 degrees. Observing cos 60 degrees, sin 30 degrees. 60 degrees and 30 degrees, both are the complementary angles. So cos 60 is equal to sin 30, hence cos 60 sin 30, both are cancelled. Cos 36 degrees upon sin 18 degrees is there. Direct value, cos 36 degrees is root 5 plus 1 by 4 upon root 5 minus 1 by 4. Now the simplifying this one, root 5 plus 1 by root 5 minus 1. That is root 5 plus 1 upon root 5 minus 1. But they can be given in the LHS alpha plus root 5 beta by 2. That's why we are going to rationalize this one. By rationalizing this one, that is alpha plus root 5 beta by 2 is equal to root 5 plus 1 whole square by root 5 whole square minus 1 square. This is equal to 6 plus 2 root 5 upon 4, or this is equal to 3 plus root 5 by 2. So here alpha plus root 5 times of beta is equal to 3 plus root 5. So equating the rational and irrational terms both sides, we get alpha is equal to 3, beta is equal to 1. But they are asking alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta is equal to 4. That is, the third option is correct. The problem is very simple and direct formula application. So the level of the question is very easy. So everyone doing this one. That's why it is very simple problem. Next, the 10th question. The 10th question is related to the integration. Direct question from the integration. Integral cos x whole to the power of minus 5 by 2 sin x whole to the power of minus 11 by 2 dx is equal to p1 upon q1 into cot x whole to the power of 9 by 2 plus p2 upon q2 into cot x whole to the power of 5 by 2 plus p3 upon q3 into cot x whole to the power of 1 by 2 minus p4 upon q4 cot x whole to the power of minus 3 by 2 plus c, where x is, that is not x, actually careful, it is c, where c is constant of integration. Then the value of 15 times of p1, p2, p3, p4 upon q1, q2, q3, q4. Now observing this problem is the RHS contains only cot x trigonometric ratio. That's why we try to convert the left hand side in terms of cot x and cosecant square x. That is, suppose if I consider I is equal to integral dx upon, I am writing that one as cos x whole to the power of 5 by 2 into sin x whole to the power of 11 by 2 I am writing. Now, to convert this one into the cortex, I am going to multiply sin x. See that? Sin x whole to the power of 5 by 2 I am writing here into, I am writing here cot x whole to the power of 5 by 2 into sin x whole to the power of 11 by 2. Now sin x whole to the power of 5 by 2 and sin x whole to the power of 11 by 2. These are the two terms. By using these two terms, we are going to write sin x whole to the power of 8. Sin x whole to the power of 8. That is, the given integral becomes as dx upon sin x whole to the power of 8 into cot x whole to the power of 5 by 2. Now, this sin x whole to the power of 8, I am taking into the numerator. That is, I is equal to integral cosecant x whole to the power of 8 dx upon cot x whole to the power of 5 by 2. Now, I am going to express the numerator as integral. The cot x derivative is minus cosecant square x. That's why I am writing this one as minus of cosecant square x whole cube into minus cosecant square x dx by cot x whole to the power of 5 by 2. Cot x whole to the power of 5 by 2. Now this is equal to minus integral cosecant square x. I am writing as cot square x plus 1 whole cube into differential of cot x upon cot x whole to the power of 5 by 2. Now I am using the substitution. Cot x is equal to t. Put cot x is equal to t. So from this, differential of cot x is equal to dt. Now integral cot square x plus 1 becomes as t square plus 1 whole cube by t to the power of 5 by 2 into dt. Now I am expanding the numerator expression, that is minus integral t to the power of 6 plus 3 times of t to the power of 4 plus 3t square plus 1 upon t to the power of 5 by 2 dt. Now this is equal to minus integral t to the power of, I am separating the terms, t to the power of 6 minus 5 by 2. 6 minus 5 by 2 plus 3 into t to the power of 4 minus 5 by 2 plus 3 into t to the power of 2 minus 5 by 2 plus t to the power of minus 5 by 2 dt. It is dt. Now we are going to simplify this one. That is, I is equal to integral minus of integral t to the power of 6 minus 5 by 2. 6 minus 5 by 2 means 7 by 2 plus 3 times of t to the power of 4 minus 5 by 2. That is 3 by 2 plus 3 times of t to the power of 2 minus 5 by 2. 1 by 2. 2 minus 5 by 2 minus 1 by 2 t to the power of minus 1 by 2. It is 3 times of t to the power of minus 1 by 2 plus t to the power of minus 5 by 2 dt. Minus of direct integration formula we are using. Integral t to the power of n dt is equal to t to the power of n plus 1. 9 by 2 by 9 by 2 plus 3 times of t to the power of 5 by 2 by 5 by 2 plus 3 into t to the power of 1 by 2 upon 1 by 2 plus t to the power of minus 3 by 2 upon minus 3 by 2 plus c, where c is the constant of integration. Now this is equal to minus of 2 by 9 times of t to the power of 9 by 2 minus of 6 by 5 times of t to the power of 5 by 2 minus of 6 by 1 times of t to the power of 1 by 2 minus of or plus 2 by 3 times of t to the power of minus 3 by 2 plus c, where t is equal to cot x. Now, by comparing this one with p1 by q1, p2 by q2, p3 by q3 and p4 by q4, we want 15 times of p1, p2, p3, p4 upon q1, q2, q3, q4. This is equal to 15 times of minus 2 into minus 6 into minus 6 into this becomes minus 2 upon q1 is 9 into 5 into 1 into 3. Now the simplification of this one, observing 5 3's cancelled, 3 3 cancelled. Next this is 2 and this is 2. So it is 16. 16 is the answer. That is, for the 10th question, 16. Option B is correct. The second option is correct. So observing all these problems, the questions are very easy and direct conceptual questions. There is no tricky. It is very simple, except only that seventh question. I think it is seventh question. It takes some time. That is, it is the combination of inverse trigonometric functions and the quadratic equation, and it requires the graph also. Except the seventh question, all the questions are very easy. Thank you.
Hello students, so we are going to discuss that January 22nd shift 1 paper. So in that first question we have here is that this area of the region they are asking here, that this region is defined by these set of points, and that area is divided by a vertical line x equal to -1, and that area ratio they are asking m is to n. Then after that they are asking the value of m plus n. Okay, so what we can do here, we can start with finding the point of intersection of x square plus 1, and the upper bound we have here is 3 minus x. So we can write x square plus 1 equal to 3 minus x. This we can write x square plus x minus 2 equal to 0. This we can write x square plus 2x minus 2 equal to 0. Correct. Now x, if we choose common, this is x plus 2 minus 1 common, that is again x plus 2. So we are getting point of intersection x equal to minus 2 and x equal to 1. So this region we can write, so m region we can say is upper curve minus lower curve, and that limit we can choose from minus 2 to minus 1. Upper bound we have 3 minus x, and the lower bound we have here is x square plus 1. So this integral we have to find. So that will give us the value of m. So this, if we calculate minus 2 to minus 1, this is 3 minus x square minus 1 dx, which we can write minus 2 to minus 1, this is 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 minus x square dx. If we solve this, we will get that value 7 by 6. In the same way, we can write the another region, that is n they are denoting. So n we can write limit is from minus 1 to 1 and 2 minus x square dx. If we solve this, then we are going to get value 20 by 6. So they are asking a m by n ratio. M by n ratio will be 6 and 6 we can cancel. So that is 7 by 20, and m plus n is nothing but 27. So I think this is moderate sum only. that only thing we have to take care that the boundary, that which curve is upper curve and which curve is lower curve. That's it. So let's move to another problem we have, that is based on condition of tangency of hyperbola. So we have the standard result for that, or we can say, let's say y equal to mx plus c. If this line is tangent to the given curve, here we have hyperbola, so that condition we can write condition of tangency is c square equal to a square m square minus b square. So we can rewrite that given equation of line, that is alpha x plus 2y equal to 1. This we can write 2y equal to minus of alpha x plus 1. 2 we can divide, so minus alpha by 2 into x plus 1 by 2. And equation of the hyperbola we have x square by 9 minus y square by 1 equal to 1. So from here, that a square value we have value of c square. So c is 1 by 2. So in this, if we plug in all the values, so we are getting 1 by 4. That c value we are putting from here. A square is 9. M is slope, so that is minus of alpha by 2. But they are asking square, so that is alpha square by 4. And minus of b square, so b square is 1 we have, correct? So if we plug in all those values, so 1 by 4 minus 1, if we shift that side, so that is 5 by 4 equal to 9 times of alpha square by 4. 4 we can cancel, alpha square equal to, we are getting 5 by 9. So alpha value we are getting plus minus root 5 by 3. Plus minus root 5 by 3, this is, so these values when that given line touches the hyperbola. But we need, what they're asking, that this never touches the hyperbola, so all real values except minus plus minus root 5 by 3 will be our answer. So answer is third, or except plus minus root 5 by 3. So this is very straight and simple and easy problem. So most of the student they can easily solve this. Okay, now move to the next one. The next problem we have, this problem is based on the image of a point reflected. So a image of a point P is given, reflected about a line. That line is given in 3D, and that image is we have is 5B and C. Okay, so the simple concept here we can use, maybe more calculation is involved here, but we can simply solve this by using, like, if this is P point 3 to A and its image, so let's say this image is Q, and about this line, so this line we know, and this line is x minus 3 by 2, y minus 5 by 5, and z minus 2 by minus 2. So let's say this M is foot of perpendicular from the given point. So obviously M is midpoint of PQ. So midpoint of PQ is M, that we can write 3 plus 5 by 2, so that is 4, B plus 2 by 2, and A plus C by 2. Okay, so from here we can simply say that this point M must satisfy the given equation of line. So this we can write 4 minus 3 by 2. So this will be equal to B plus 2 by 2 minus 5 by 5, and Z we can replace with A plus C by 2 minus 2 by minus 2. So from here we can easily say that this value is nothing but 1 by 2. From here we can write B plus 2 minus 10, if we are taking LCM, divided by 10. If we solve these two, this is B minus 8 equal to 5. So B equal to 13. So that value of B we are getting 13. In the same way, if we solve from these two if we equate, so this is 1 by 2 equal to A plus C minus of 4 divided by minus 4. So this is, we are getting minus 2 plus 4 equal to A plus C. So A plus C we are getting from here simply 2. Okay, now we have to find the value of A and C individually. So another condition we have, or we can say that PQ is perpendicular to the given line. This is, let's say, given line, okay, L. So we can say that if we write PQ vector dot with direction vector of the line, direction vector of the line we can say 2 5 minus 2, basically 2 I cap plus 5 j cap minus 2 of k cap. If we take dot product of these two, their dot product must be 0. So from here we can find a relation between A and C, another relation. Okay, so PQ if we write, so that we can say 5 minus 3 will be 2 I cap plus, let's say, B minus 2 j cap plus C minus A k cap, and its dot with the, we have L line, and line L has 2 I cap plus 5 j cap minus of 2 k cap equal to 0, correct? If we solve this, we will get a relation that B value we already have, B value 13. So from here we are going to get another relation in A and C, and after solving, so another relation we are going to get in A and C from here, and after solving values of A, B we already have 13, and C we have all, C we can find. So A value we are going to get minus 55 by 4, and C value we are going to get 63 by 4, and they are asking A square plus B square plus C square. If we plug in all those values, so that will be 55 whole square by 16, then C square is 63 whole square by 16, and B square is 169. If we put all those values, we are going to get final answer 4849 by 8. So that is our choice first. So some calculation is there, but the concept that we have to use is very simple and very regular question they have asked. So let's move to next problem. So now the next problem we have, they are simply asking the number of solution of the given equation which is involving modulus. So in this, simply we have to make three cases. That number line we have to divide in three region, that minus 4 minus 2. So first region when x is less than equal to minus 4, then x is greater than minus 4 and less than equal to minus 2, and when x is greater than minus 2. Okay, so if we solve for when x is, let's say, greater than equal to minus 2, this will give us x square, all mod will open with plus sign. So x square plus 4x plus 3x plus 6 plus 3 equal to 0 we are getting from here. So x square plus 7x plus 9 equal to 0. Generally, if quadratic is there and d is not less than 0, then we expect two solutions. But in this case particularly, if we check, so in each, in this case also we can write equation, in this case also we can write equation. So if we need not to make assumption that if this is a quadratic then two roots are there. We have to check for after solving that values of x lying in that region or not. So in this, in each case when we write, we are going to get one solution. So total three solutions we are going to get. We can write equations. In this case, this mod will, another mod will open with minus sign, and one mod will open with plus sign. So in this case, equation will be x square plus 4x minus of 3x minus of 6 plus 3 equal to 0. This we can write x square plus x minus 3 equal to 0. X equal to, we can write minus 1. Quadratic formula we can apply, minus 1 plus minus root over 1 plus 12, so that is 13 by 2. Root 13 is approximately 3.6. So this value we can put minus 1 plus of 3.6 by 2 will not give any positive value, so we have to choose minus sign. So minus 1 minus 3.6 by 2, that is minus of 4.6 by 2 approximately minus 2.3, which is satisfying this region. So there is one solution. So in the same way, one solution from here, one solution from here, one solution from here. So total number of solution we are going to get 3. So this is very simple and a straightforward question. Just only thing we have to be careful while solving, and while writing final answer, we have to check that our solution approximately is lying in that range or not. Okay, so let's move to another problem. So this problem is based on the probability distribution. So just we have to read the question, and what they're asking we have to just follow. So that summation px, we can say that is 1. So if we add them all, so 6k square plus 2k square plus again 2k square, so this is 10k square. Then k, for x equal to 0 we have k, then for x equal to 3 we have another k, then for 4 we have 4k and other 3k, so this we are getting 9k. So 10k square plus 9k, sum should be 1, so this is 1. So 10k square plus 9k minus 1 equal to 0. If we solve this, that k value, that is legit, is 1 by 10. Now they are asking p for x 3 open and less than equal to 6. So we have to choose only for 4, 5 and 6. So 4, 5 and 6 we are getting for 4, 4k, for 5k, and 6 again another k. So that is 6k, and k value we have 1 by 10. So 6 by 10, that answer is 0.6. That is our first choice. So in my opinion, these all questions are simple. In one or two questions some calculation is there, that is based on area, and another that is based on the image of the point. And for upcoming papers, I wish all the very best to all the students. And what we have discussed here in our classroom and in our assignments and the practice papers we gave to the students, I think that students have advantage if they are aligned with the Narayana material and classroom teaching. So I hope that you all are doing very well, and all the very best from my end. Thank you.
Well, students, good morning. We are here to solve these JEE Mains questions, morning shift today, that is 22nd. So here we go. Let's read the question carefully. So it's given there are two discs having same moment of inertia about their axis. The thickness is T1 and T2, and they have same density. So this point is very, very important, and same density, right? And if r1 over r2 is 1 by 2, then we have to find out the ratio of thickness t1 over t2. Here it is understood that r1 r2 refers to the radius of the disk. Okay, so it's a very straightforward question. So we know the moment of inertia of a disk about its axis is mr square by 2. Now it is given in the question that I1 is equal to I2. So I can write M1 R1 square by 2 is equal to M2 R2 square by 2. Mass I can write in terms of density, and it will be density multiplied by volume, which will be pi R1 squared. T1 is equal to, that is rho, same density, pi R2 square that is into T2 and multiplied by, this is R1 square and this is R2 square. So you can see the quick manipulation that T1 over T2, that becomes R2 over R1 to the power 4. And now in question we are given R1 by R2 is 1 by 2. So this is 2 to the power 4. So it is 16. So we can see, students, directly that second is the right option, right? So answer is second. That's our answer. So pretty straightforward question. Let's move to the next question, and here it is. We are given that in a series LR circuit, the voltage of a battery is 10 volt. Resistance and inductance are given 10 ohm and 10 millihenry respectively. We have to find out energy stored in the inductor when current reaches 1 by E times of the maximum value. So student, this is a clearly a question related to transient RL circuit, that is growth of current. So I hope we are familiar with the few results. We have resistance, we have inductor, and if we connect it to a battery, so we know that current will grow, and the equation is I is equal to I maximum 1 minus e to the power minus t over tau. So we understand the meaning, and it is given in the question that when current reaches 1 by e times, so this is 1 by e and this becomes 1 minus e to the power minus t by tau. Tau is L by R. Anyway, so let's not solve it right away. Now we want energy stored in the inductor. Now energy stored in the inductor is half Li square, and this becomes U maximum, and this is 1 minus t over tau square. So we want this thing, energy stored in the inductor when current becomes 1 by e times the maximum value. Now this U maximum will be equal to half Li maximum square, and this will be half. Inductance given is 10 millihenry, and the maximum current in the circuit will be V by R, that is 10 divided by 10. So we have 5 millijoule. Right, students? So this is the maximum energy stored. Now we want energy stored by inductor when it is E times. So that means it is very obvious, and we can see that this value 1 minus e to the power minus t by 2 tau is 1 by e. So if we take care of it, so we get energy stored will be equal to U maximum, and this will be 1 by e square. So this is 5 millijoule, and this will be approximately yeah, 5.29. Right, I'm taking the value of E approximately 2.3. So and I can see that this will be less than 1 if I look at the option, and it will be close to 1 but less than 1. So I need not go into detailed calculation. So clearly our answer will be 1, because this is close to 1 and less than 1. Other options, second option is more than 1. 3 and 4, they are far away from 1. So we can save our time. So so that we need to be alert. So I hope it was a straightforward question. Right, students, moving to the next question, and this is a question from current electricity. Question says, in a potentiometer, null point for two resistance R1 and R2 is 40 centimeter as shown. Okay, so if we take this case 1, now in case 1 I can write that R1 over R2 will be equal to L1 over L2. So it will be 40 divided by 60, and that is 2 by 3. So we get one equation, students. Okay, so let's go for the second situation. What it says? Now the question says that if 16 ohm is added or connected in parallel to R2, now the null point is at 50 centimeter. So that means this R1 will be equal to equivalent of R2 in parallel with 16 ohm. Why I'm saying it is equal? Because null point is 50 centimeters. So the ratio will be 1:1. So that means it is 16 R2 over 16 plus R2. So these are the two equations, and student, I hope we can solve these two equations. And when you solve it, you get R1 is 16 by 3 ohm, and obviously R2 will be 8 ohm. Straightforward, a simple question, just involving little calculations. Now we have two equations, and we can easily solve either by substituting the value of R2 in this equation or R1, and this gives us this answer. Right, so answer is third. Okay, so moving to the next question, and this is a question based on gravitation. So what we are given in the given situation, force at the center on 1 kg mass is F1. Now if 4m and 3m are interchanged, the force is F2. Then we are given that F1 over F2 is 2 by root alpha. Find alpha. Well, students, so I hope I can write F1 as mass times the value of G at the center. Now mass is 1. So I can write it is, let us say, G1 in this case. Now suppose I say this diagram, if you see, I call this as R, and here we have 4m, and this is 3m, and this is 2m, and this is m. So I can write the value of this G1. Now I can see that the resultant will be like this. So basics of vectors, these two will be attracting, the resultant will be along uh, 3, and here the difference is 2. Again I can see here the difference is 2, and it will be directed towards, and due to a simple point mass, that the value of G is Gm over r square, right? So I can say that this vector will be basically, that is G2m over r square, and this vector will be again same G2m over r square, and their resultant will be like this. And I can write this F1 as 1, that is m is 1, the mass at the center is 1 kg, and this will be root 2 times, so 2gm over r square root 2, right students? So this is one calculation we have done. And in the second case, when 4m is replaced or interchanged by 3m, now in this modified situation, so we are going to have like f2, it will be again 1, and again there will be two vectors like this, and this becomes the 4m, so difference will be 3, so it will be g 3m over r square, and here the difference will be 1, so it will be gm over r square. Again the resultant is this one, and I can see that the resultant will be gm over r square, yeah, r square, and it will be root 10, right students? So now when we take the ratio, so f1 over f2, so you can see that when we take the ratio, this is 2 root 2 over root 10. So simplifying, I get root 5, and once I compare with alpha, which is given to be 2 over root alpha, so that gives us alpha is 5. So that's our answer. So first option is the answer. So these are the simple calculations, and I hope many of the students can do these calculations mentally also, but for the sake of all, I have given the detailed calculation. Right students, so moving to the next question, and see, this is a question from units and dimension, and we have to match the column, and there are physical quantities given: thermal conductivity, Boltzmann constant, spring constant, and surface tension. Then there are dimensions given in the right column. Well student, let's see this question very carefully. The moment you look at the question, one thing you realize, that C will have same dimension as that of D. Okay, so this is very clear. Surface tension, force per unit length, so spring constant, that will be also having same dimension. Now there are only two options, I need not go into detail. I can see that option 1 and 3 are having this thing, that C and D having same dimension. But now let us see what will be the dimension. This is force per unit length, so that means this is mlt minus 2 divided by L, so this is mt minus 2. Now if I look at S option, can you see that? Yeah, so that's perfect. So that means my answer is A. That is, sorry, that is option first. I need not check other option. I need not go into details of checking the options of thermal conductivity and Boltzmann constant. So here examiner has left a clue. I need not solve it completely. So C and D will have same dimension, and there are only two options where C and D have same option. So we just need to check that, right? If you see Q option, so obviously Q option is bluntly wrong. So these are time savers, you can do it quickly.
Everyone, today is 22nd January and we are discussing chemistry paper shift 1. So this is the question. The statement 1 is the Henry constant is constant with respect to change in concentration of gas till solution is dilute at a given temperature. Yes, we know that Henry constant is not a true constant, but it is a constant for a particular gas till the Henry law is valid. Henry law is valid for dilute solution. So the first option seems to be true. The second statement, according to Henry law, partial pressure of gas in vapor phase is inversely proportional to the mole fraction of gas in solution. This seems to be wrong because we are writing that the pressure of the gas is equal to the Henry constant multiplied by the mole fraction of the gas. So pressure of the gas is directly proportional to mole fraction of the gas in the solution. So this seems to be false. First statement is true and the second statement is false. So from here we are getting that third will be the answer for this. Moving to the next problem. Consider a first order reaction. A will give products. Three different solutions are taken. Rate of reaction for solution 1, 100 ml 10 molar solution. Solution A with respect to A, the rate is R1. Solution 2, 200 ml 10 molar, with respect to A, the rate is R2. Solution 3, 100 ml 10 molar, with respect to A plus 100 ml of water is added and the rate of the reaction is R3. We know that for first order reaction we can write that the rate of reaction is equal to rate constant into concentration of reactant raised to the power 1. So here for solution 1 and solution 2, the concentration of A is same. So we can say that for solution 1 and solution 2, the rate of reaction will be same, but when we are added 100 ml of water, the concentration of the A becomes half and rate of reaction will be less in the third case. So if we try to write that what is the order of the rate of reaction, so rate R1 is equal to rate R2 is greater than R3. So it is based on simple concept, rate of reaction is rate constant, concentration of reactant raised to the power 1. So moving to the third question. Bohr's radius of hydrogen atom is 2.12 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. Calculate the energy at this level. So Bohr's radius Rn is equal to 0.529 n square by z angstrom, that is 10 to the power minus 10 meter, and this radius is given as 2.12 into 10 to the power minus 10. So this 10 to the power minus 10 will cancel out. Z is equal to 1 for hydrogen atom. So this is almost half, and if we take this in denominator we can write that n square is equal to 2.12 divided by 0.529. So this is approximately 4. So if we take n is equal to 2, so the electron is present in second orbit. If we have to write the energy of electron in the second orbit in terms of joule, the Rydberg constant is equal to 2.18 into 10 to the power minus 18 z square upon n square. The value of z square will be 1, but the value of n square will be 4. So if we simplify, we are getting this value is minus 5.44 into 10 to the power minus 19. So the answer for this will be 1. Next question. So this question is based on formal charge. What is formal charge? Formal charge is the difference of electron before bond formation and after forming the bond. So if we try to write that what is the formal charge, we can say that number of valence electrons before bond formation minus the number of electrons in the form of bond pairs. So we can say that bond pair of electrons multiplied by half, because in one bond pair there are 2 electrons, plus we can say lone pair or unpaired electrons we can say, or non-bonding electrons we can say, right? So we can write here that these are remaining non-bonding electrons, non-bonding electrons. So if we try to find out that what is the formal charge on nitrogen atom, it is denoted by 4. This is the fourth atom in the mol ion. So for nitrogen, valence electrons are 5, and in this structure you can see that there are 4 bond pairs, right? So we should write here 4. So the formal charge on nitrogen atom is +1. And if we go through the option, there could be second option and fourth option. So we'll calculate the formal charge on the first oxygen atom. So formal charge on the first oxygen atom can be written as before bonding. Before bonding, there are 6 valence electrons, and according to the structure here, first oxygen atom. So there are 6 unshared electrons, right? 6 unshared electrons are there, and corresponding to one bond pair, one electron will be there. So the valence uh, after forming the bond will be 7. So the difference of this is coming -1, right? So till now also we cannot distinguish between 2 and 4. So we have to calculate for the second oxygen atom. For second oxygen atom, before bond formation, 6 electrons are there. There is a negative charge after formation of the bond. So 6 unshared electron and 1 bond pair electron. So there are 7 electrons. So the difference will be -1, right? So from here we get that the second option will be correct. We can also check for the third oxygen atom. For the third oxygen atom, before bond formation, 6 electrons are there. There are 2 bonds, so corresponding to 2 electrons, and there are 4 electrons which is not forming bond, right? So unshared electrons are 4. So the difference of these two will be 0, right? So from there we are now confirmed that second option is the answer for this. Moving to the next question, an element from first transition series and another element from third transition series, same group, do not liberate hydrogen gas from dilute acid like HCl. So this information is telling that it could be copper, silver and gold. Copper, silver and gold, and both form halides. The hybridization state of metal ion halide respectively are. So copper can form CuCl4. This complex is also given in chemical equilibrium, which is blue in color, and we are doing a lab test based on this compound. So at room temperature it is blue in color. Then the third transition series element is gold, and it can form AuCl4 minus. So here copper is present in +2 oxidation state and chlorine is weak field ligand. So if we write the electronic configuration of copper, the copper in +2, that will be 3d9 4s0, because the electronic configuration of copper atom is 3d10 4s1. If you remove 2 electrons, it will be 3d9 4s0. So we can say here it is weak field ligand. So d orbitals cannot be used, and there are 4 ligands, so hybridization will be sp3. Coming to AuCl4 minus, gold is present in +3 oxidation state. So if we try to write that what is the electronic configuration of gold, so gold in +3 have electronic configuration 5d86s0, and since it is 3d series, right, so we can say that the crystal field splitting energy is greater than mean pairing energy, or we can say that crystal field splitting energy of a square planar complex is greater than the mean pairing energy. In case of the square planar complex, the orbitals will be distributed in this form. So if we try to fill 8 electrons into it, there is no unpaired electrons here, and d orbital is vacant. This d orbital is dx square y square orbital, so hybridization of this will be dsp2. So from here we can say that the third option is correct. Moving to the next question. So sodium extract of organic compound of 0.1 gram is treated with chlorine water and carbon tetrachloride, which dissolve the organic solvent, producing a violet color. So this violet color in carbon tetrachloride is indicating that this sodium extract contains NaI. So the halogen which is present in the organic compound is iodine. So now we have 0.1 gram. From this we are producing silver iodide. The mass of silver iodide is yellow in color. The mass is given, that is 0.12 gram. So we can find out what is the number of moles of AgI. So in the question they must have given the atomic mass of silver and iodine. So here we can write that 0.12 divided by molar mass of silver, atomic mass of silver is 108 and iodine is 127. So this is coming 0.12 divided by 235. From there we got the number of moles of iodine, which is equal to 0.12 divided by 235, and from here if we multiply by the atomic mass of iodine, which is 127, we'll get that mass of iodine in organic compound. And now we have to divide it by mass of organic compound, which is 0.1 multiplied by 100. So if we are simplifying this, it is coming 64.85, and if we round off to the nearest integer, the answer should be 65. I think this in this year there are many questions from quantitative analysis of organic compound. So thank you very much.
Hello students, this is Sunil Sharma. We are going to discuss 22nd Gen morning shift some physics questions with you. So let us start with the first question. Our first question is that there is an alpha particle with kinetic energy 7.9 mega electron volt. It is projected towards a stationary target nucleus of Z79. Find the distance of closest approach. If you have seen the yesterday's Narayana live discussion of the paper, then you may have seen this question also was asked yesterday. So this is a similar question. Let us see how to tackle this question. So in this question, we have an alpha particle which is projected towards a stationary nucleus. The Z of the nucleus is given as 79. Now we have to find out what will be the minimum distance of approach. There is some initial kinetic energy of alpha particle, and finally when alpha particle is at the minimum distance of approach or closest distance of approach, then all this kinetic energy will convert into potential energy. This nucleus is fixed, so this is not gaining any kinetic energy. So all the system's kinetic energy is now converted into potential energy. So we can just equate the initial kinetic energy to the final potential energy of the system. Initial kinetic energy will be final potential energy of system, which is going to be K Q1 Q2 by R. K Q1 Q2 by R. Now just solve this equation, so you will get R minimum. R minimum, if you just put the values of the things here, K 9 into 10 power 9, 2 into 79, E square, so 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 charge of electrons whole square, divided by kinetic energy is 7.9 mega electron volt. Convert this mega electron volt into joules, because that is the SI unit of kinetic energy. So if you just do little bit calculations here, you will get the answer as 2.88 into 10 power minus 14. Be careful in the calculation, because we have two options which are very close. This is 10 power minus 14, this is 10 power minus 15. So choose the correct option, which is 10 power minus 14. Okay, let's proceed to the next question. Here they are talking about escape velocity from two different planets. Planet A has density rho and radius r. Escape velocity is given from this planet. Please take care, it is given in 10 km per second. Find the escape velocity in meter per second from the planet B having density and radius both 10% of the planet A. So here we need to find out escape velocity. Just a minute. Yes. Here we need to find out the relation of escape velocity with density and radius. Escape velocity, you may be knowing, it is given by root 2 gr. Value of g you can convert into gm by r square. 1 r is there in numerator, it will get cancelled. Mass of planet you can write as density into volume. Density into volume, which is proportional to density into volume. So 4 by 3 pi r cube into density by r. So you can see this expression is coming out to be proportional to root r square into rho. That means the escape velocity from planet B divided by escape velocity from planet A should be equal to ratio of RB square into rho B divided by RA square into rho A. The density and radius of the second planet is given 10% of the planet A. That means this ratios should be 0.1 for density and 0.1 square for R square. This will come out to be root over 1000 or 1 by 10 root 10.
So this is the velocities ratio. Now velocity of planet B, escape velocity from planet B, we need to find out. It's going to be VA upon 10 root 10. VA is given in the question is 10 kilometer per second. Kilometer going to be 1000 meter per second divided by 10 root 10. So 110 will cancel. This is 10 root 10 meter per second. So which option is correct? I think first option is correct here. Let us proceed to the next question. In the next question, it's based on optics. It's a curved surface refraction question. A ray parallel to x-axis. If you see the diagram, there is a ray here which is parallel to x-axis. I hope you are able to look at it. This ray parallel to x-axis is falling on a curved surface which is separating two media. One side definitely, if not given, we'll assume it is refractive index 1. Other side refractive index is 1.5. They are asking x coordinate where the ray cuts the x-axis. So this ray will refract here and somewhere it will cut the x-axis. We need to find the x coordinate of that point. The x coordinate of this point should be the image distance v. Should be the image distance v. So we need to find the image distance in the second medium. Let us use the curved surface refraction formula, which is given by mu2 by v minus mu1 by u should be equal to mu2 minus mu1 by r. Just put the values here. Mu2 is 1.5, v is going to be the x coordinate which we need to find out. Mu1 is 1, u is going to be the object distance since the light is coming from infinity. So we'll assume object distance is infinity. Mu2 minus mu1 by r. Radius of curvature of the second surface is given in the question is 50 centimeter. Put the value 50 centimeter. It should be positive because the center of curvature is on the right hand side. Now just solve this expression. So 1.5 by v is equal to 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5 by 50. This is 1 upon 100, or you can see v equal to 150 centimeter. But since question is asking answer in meter, this is 1.5 meter. 1.5 meter is option A. So option A is the correct answer here. Let us proceed to the next question. Next question is an easy question based on EMI, electromagnetic induction. What they are saying, a conducting rod, mass m, length L, is moving on a infinite parallel rails of in vertical plane. The conducting rails are connected to resistance R also. This is the resistance R connected here at one end. Motion is in vertical plane and horizontal magnetic field is also switched on in the region. B is given. Find terminal speed of the rod. When rod has achieved a terminal speed, if suppose rod is achieving terminal speed, the speed of rod is constant. And as the rod is falling down, its gravitational potential energy is decreasing. So where that potential energy is going? That potential energy is actually converting into heat energy in resistor. So heat energy generated in resistor I square R should be the rate of loss of potential energy, which will be mgh is the potential energy. If you differentiate it, you will get mgvt. Now current generated here will be motional EMF, which is going to be BLV by R. If you substitute that here, so B square L square V square by R square into R, that is going to be mgvt. This is also terminal speed of the rod, Vt. Just rearrange this expression. They are asking Vt, so it's going to be mgr whole divided by B square L square. If you see, the third option is correct here. Again, a very easy question. Let us proceed to the next question. Next question is connected to sinusoidal EM wave. It's basically EM wave question. They are giving that electric field in the EM wave is given by this expression, and it is propagating in a non-magnetic material. So material is non-magnetic, you can assume the relative permeability of the material is 1. You need to find dielectric constant of the material. So looking at the expression of E vector, you can find the wave speed. Wave speed, let us call wave speed to be V because we don't know whether this is free space or not. So that will be negative of coefficient of T upon coefficient of X, which is 2 by 300. So if you see, this is 3 into 10 power 8 by 2. The speed of wave in the medium is known to you. Now speed of wave in free space upon speed of wave in the medium is the refractive index of material. And you know that is going to be root over mu r m2 epsilon naught. Mu r for non-magnetic material is 1 and epsilon r is nothing but dielectric constant, which we need to find out. So just put the value of C, which is 3 into 10 power 8 divided by speed of light in the medium, 3 by 2 into 10 power 8. You will see that root k is 2, so k should be equal to 4. Dielectric constant of the material is 4. Let us proceed to the next question. Next question is again an optics question. It involves combinations of lenses. In case 1, we can see there is a point object here and there is a combination of two lenses of focal length 5 and 10 centimeter. Take care that this 4 centimeter is negative, should be negative because the lens is concave. And the magnification for this object in the two cases is M1 and M2. They're asking ratio of magnification. Find m1 by m2. So let us calculate the magnifications first in these two cases, then we'll find their ratios. For calculation of magnification in this first case, I will first find out what is the effective focal length. Okay, because we have a combination of lenses, so 1 by f effective is going to be 1 by f1, which is plus 5, plus 1 upon f2. F2 is minus 4. So solve for the focal length of this system. This is going to be 4 minus 5 upon 4, 5, 20. This is going to be f is equal to minus 20. So the focal length of first case is minus 20. Now we need to find magnification. If you know the magnification formula in terms of focal length, it is f upon f minus u. For lenses, we should use plus u. For mirrors, we should use minus u. So just put the values of focal length. Focal length is minus 20. U value is minus 10. Solve this. It is minus 20 by minus 30. So magnification in first case is going to be 2 by 3. This is a case 1 magnification. Now we have to find case 2 magnification. But case 2 is very interesting. Here lenses have some small separation between them. If you observe the first lens, his distance of object is 10 and focal length is 5. The double of focal length, the 2f point, is going to be at 10 centimeter. So the first lens will have object at the 2f point, so its image will be also at 2f point. The image created by first lens, let me show the image with some other color. Okay, let's, I think this option, just a minute. Okay, let us use some other color to show the image. So from the first lens, the object image will be created at the same distance to f, that is at 10 centimeter. The diagram is not to the scale. This distance is going to be 10 centimeter and this is 1 centimeter. That means for the second lens, the object distance is nothing but 9 centimeter. That means this second lens have an object at 9 centimeter and this is a virtual object. The light rays incident on the second mirror, second lens, are going to converge at this point. We need to find image distance. Let us first find image distance by this. So 1 by f, f is going to be negative, minus 4 is equal to 1 upon v. V we need to find out, minus 1 upon u. U is plus 9. Solve this for v. So v is going to be, take this 9 on other side, 1 by 9 minus 1 by 4, that is 4 minus 9 upon 4 into 9, 36. So v is going to be invert this, so 36 and negative sign 5. This is the image distance by the second lens. First lens, because object is at 2f, image is at 2f, the magnification created by this will be minus 1 by the first lens. Second lens magnification, v is known to you, so magnification by second lens, let's call that m dash, that is going to be v, which is minus 36 by 5 divided by u, which is minus 9, plus 9, plus 9. So if you solve this, this is going to be minus 4 by 5. Combination of lenses, magnification will be just product of the individual magnification. First lens magnification is minus 1, second lens magnification is minus 4 by 5. Their product is going to be m2. So we now know m2 and m1 both. The question is asking m1 by m2. So m1, which is 2 by 3 upon m2, divided by m2, which is going to be 4 by 5. If you solve this, you are getting 5 by 6. So this is the answer of this question. This is little bit calculative compared to all other questions. Let us go to the next one. Sorry, this is a blank page. Next one question is based on simple projectile motion. Projectile is thrown upward at an angle of 60 degree with horizontal. The speed of projectile is 20 meter per second. Now, when its direction of motion is 45 with horizontal. Please see this line. They are saying speed of projectile is 20 meter per second when the direction of motion is 45 with horizontal. The initial projection angle is 60. So the projectile is projected at some angle 60 degree and somewhere in its path, somewhere let's say here, the angle of its velocity with horizontal, let's say that velocity is v dash, it is 45 degree. And this v dash is given to you, it is 20 meter per second. So its horizontal component should be 20 by root 2, 20 cos 45. But horizontal velocity component of projectile motion remains same. Initial velocity, let's say it is u, and this angle was already known to you 60 degree. So u cos 60, that is u into 1 by 2, it is 20 by root 2. Let's solve this. So u has to be 40 by root 2 or 20 root 2. So answer of this question should be 20 root 2 meter per second. This concludes our set of questions. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good morning. Today is 22nd of January 2026 and the session 1 mains paper are going on. Here we are going to discuss chemistry paper of morning shift of 22nd January 2026. I am Neha Joshi. I will be discussing most of your organic part. So here let me start with question number 1 that we have got. And remember, it is a memory based question. There may be little here and there some changes when the final paper arrives, but the basics will remain same. So let's discuss this first question. Match the following and choose the correct option. Now see, this first question is having various reagents in list 1 and the reactions in which they are used with their name in list 2. So first reagent is diamine silver 1 cation. This is the famous reagent used in tolerance test. So this should match with this third tolerance reagent. This is the reagent used in tolerance test. Where do we use tolerance test? To confirm presence of aldehydes and ketones, right? Of course, not ketones, but to differentiate between aldehyde and ketones. Next is zinc amalgam with HCl. This reagent we use in Clemmensen reduction, right? So this should match with second, that is Clemmensen reduction. Moving to third, which is hydrazine plus KOH. Hydrazine and KOH, this is the reagent for Wolff-Kishner reduction. If you remember, both B and C are basically methods of reduction of aldehyde ketones to hydrocarbon, but B, that is Clemmensen, is used under acidic conditions, and this Wolff-Kishner is used under alkaline or basic conditions. Moving to D, Cu2 plus under alkaline condition is the reagent used in Felling's test or is used as a Felling solution. So we are looking for A to 3, B to match 2. So 3, 2, 4, 1. 3 no, 3 no. Okay, 3, 2, 4, 1. So our answer for this question is third option. So very basic and important reagent list covered, more than one reagent in the same question. Coming to next question, sucrose is dextrorotatory. That is a true statement. Yes, sucrose is dextrorotatory, and upon hydrolysis it becomes levorotatory. That is also correct statement. So this statement we agree, yes, this is what happens and this is what is there. If you remember, when we hydrolyze sucrose in dilute H2SO4, when we heat it, then we get alpha D, right, alpha D glucose plus beta D fructose. Now the rotation, specific rotation of alpha D glucose is plus 52.5 degrees and of fructose is minus 92.4. What happens is this levo-rotation of fructose dominates over the dextrorotatory nature of glucose. As a result, overall solution becomes levo-rotatory. So statement 1, we agree, is absolutely correct. Let's go to next statement. Sucrose on hydrolysis gives glucose and fructose such that the levo-rotation of glucose, I just told you glucose is a dextrorotatory compound. The one which is obtained here is alpha D glucose is more than dextrorotation of glucose. In fact, it is written just reverse. So this statement is false. If this statement is false, statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. So answer for this question has to be this third one. Correct? Entire thing which is given here is in biomolecules chapter from NCERT. All those who are preparing for coming sessions or even for April, please read NCERT. Each and every line, everything is coming from it. Okay, moving to next. Which of the following is the correct order of the reactivity of given nucleophiles when treated with CH3Br in methanol? I am underlining methanol because methanol It means they are asking under polar protic solvent conditions, right? Now coming to how to decide. So if I see that except for iodine, oxygen, oxygen and fluorine, right? Except for iodine, oxygen, oxygen and fluorine. So these three nucleophiles are having the donor atom from the same period. And along the period, when we move from left to right, as the electronegativity increases, nucleophilicity decreases, right? As the electronegativity increases, nucleophilicity decreases. So by that information, I can say that O minus is going to be a better nucleophile than F minus. That is my first set of conclusion. Then in protic conditions for halides, if I talk, down the group as we move down, nucleophilicity increases with decrease in electronegativity of the donor atom, or I can say with increase in size of the donor atom, right? So for iodine and fluoride, I can say I minus is better than F minus. These 2 points are very, very clear. Now, for O minus, I have two choices, C2H5 O minus and PHO minus. Here it is resonating. So the charge density on the donor atom will go down. So one more conclusion I can make is C2H5 O minus has to be a better nucleophile than PHO minus. These are the conclusions that are very, very clear, right? Now see, here F minus is better than PHO minus, cancel. PHO minus is best of them all. No, that is not possible. And here I minus is better than F minus. Yes, we agree. But F minus is better than this is wrong. We just concluded O minus will be better than F minus. So by the basic knowledge of nucleophilicity, we can very well conclude the answer for this is first option, right? So let's move to the next question. So here is the question of organic again, which is of aryl halide, right? This aryl halide here, इसको नाम दिया है P. The name given to this particular compound is given P, and they are asking the incorrect statement. We have to be very vigilant about what is being asked, correct, incorrect. So incorrect statement is being asked. They are saying P is less reactive than benzyl chloride. Now, what is benzyl chloride? Benzyl chloride is CH2Cl. Now, this particular compound, that is benzyl chloride, is better in reaction in terms of rate I am talking as compared to this given compound. What is the given compound? To this I am saying this is aryl chloride, or in general if I want to say aryl halide. So as compared to aryl halide, for all type of nucleophilic substitution, whether you talk of SN1 or SN2, benzyl chloride is much faster, right? So P is less reactive. Yes, that is now a true statement, and we are asked to mark incorrect. So this can't be the answer. Move to next point. In P, CCl bond has partial double bond character. Certainly it has a double bond character. Why? Because there is resonance. And due to this resonance, carbon chlorine bond here acquires partial double bond nature, partial double bond character. So this statement again is true, is correct, and can't be the answer. Moving to third, chlorine is an ortho-para directing group. Bilkul sahi. That is absolutely correct, because ortho-para directing but deactivating is the nature of all halogens towards electrophilic substitution reaction. So this statement is also correct. Let's move to the fourth statement. P can undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. Well, can undergo, till here it is okay. But what is this written? At normal conditions? No, not at all. At very high, at vigorous conditions only, we get nucleophilic substitution on aryl halides. So if that is so, this statement is false, is incorrect, and thus should be the answer. So answer for this should be option number 4. Right? Let's move to next question. In the following reaction sequence, identify compound R. So this R they are asking. Let us first revise what all reactions here are. First reaction, that phenol is made to react with NaOH. It is a simple acid-base reaction, and we will have PHO minus Na plus, sodium phenoxide is formed, that is our compound P. This P is now made to react with CO2. Which reaction is this? It is coal-base reaction, right? So we will have ONA, and or rather I would say OH, क्योंकि CO, ONA will be formed, right? I'm considering the major product. Certainly there will be attack at para positions, but as in all the options it appears to be the major product considerations, I'm going by major product. If we'll not get the answer, we'll look back. So H plus, this was Q. Now it is being acidified, so OH and COOH. This is a very famous compound. I think all of you are aware of it. Salicylic acid is formed as a major product and is given name R as per the sequence given. So what we are looking for is orthohydroxy benzoic acid, and then the answer for this will be first. Is that right? The answer is first. Let's move to next question. Which of the following statement is correct? This time they are asking correct. In last time, 2 questions back, they were asking incorrect regarding element having atomic number 79. If atomic number 79, it is gold, and its configuration is 5D10 6S1, right? Copper, silver, gold. Its first ionization enthalpy is maximum in its group. Well, that is a correct statement. That is a true statement because of lengthenite contraction, right? This one, gold, is in 6th period where there is a lengthenite contraction. This is in the 3rd transition series, copper, silver, gold. So due to lengthenite contraction, you are aware that the 2nd transition series element and 3rd transition series element of this particular group will have similar size, but definitely effective nuclear force is very high due to increased number of electrons. As a result, 5D10 6S1 was expected to be having lower ionization energy, but due to lengthenite contraction, it has the maximum in its group. Correct statement. Its first ionization enthalpy is minimum. Of course, this is now false. First is true. It belongs to group 10 of periodic table. This is also false because it belongs to 11th group of periodic table. So this statement is false. It belongs to 5th period. I just told you no. Gold belongs to 6th period of periodic table. So this statement is also false. And we are asked to mark the correct statement first. Answer for this question is first option.
Hello students, let me introduce myself. I am Rishabh sir, Senior Chemistry Faculty, and today I am going to discuss some questions of JEE Mains 22nd January Shift 1. So first question in front of us is, arrange the given metal ions in number of increasing order of unpaired electron in low spin complex formed by Mn plus 3, Cr plus 3, Fe plus 3 and Co plus 3. So this question is based on crystal field theory, or we can say it is from complex compounds chapter, subtopic crystal field theory. Now they are saying low spin complex. Low spin complex means there should be pairing of electron, and we have Mn plus 3 ions. So if you see manganese, we know manganese configuration is 3d5 4s2. Now Mn plus 3 will have 3d 4 configuration. Now we know if you see splitting, we have T2g orbitals over here and we have EG orbitals over here. T2G orbital will have lower energy and EG orbitals will have higher energy. Now we have to fill these 4 electrons over here. So if you fill these 4 electrons, we'll have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what we can see is there are 2 unpaired electrons over here. They're asking us the number of unpaired electron. So in case of Mn plus 3, I can write 2 unpaired electron is present. Same if we go by chromium configuration, we know it is 3d5 4s1. So Cr plus 3 configuration will be equal to 3d3. Now again 3d3 with low spin complex, it means there should be splitting of orbital and there should be pairing. But in this case, as we're having only 3 electrons, those 3 electrons will be filled in T2G orbital and there will be no electron in EG, and there will also not be any pairing of electron. So in this case, what we can see is there are total 3 unpaired electrons present. If you see next is Fe. We know configuration of Fe is 3d6 4s2. Now they are talking about Fe plus 3. Fe plus 3 means it is having 3d5 configuration. 3d5 configuration in low spin complex. Again we have to draw the T2G and EG orbitals and we have to fill the electrons. So 5 electrons will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what we can see is there is only one unpaired electron over here. So we'll write 1 over here. And next is cobalt. We know cobalt configuration is 3d7 4s2. So cobalt plus 3 if you write, that will be 3d6. Now 3d6 if you write, again T2G and EG, so it will be this 6 electrons T2G EG. If you fill 6 electrons, it will be 1, 2, 3. Now 4th electron will be filled over here, 5th and 6th. So in this case all the electrons are paired, so there is no unpaired electron. So what we can see is Mn plus 3 has 2 unpaired, Cr plus 3 has 3 unpaired, Fe plus 3 has 1, Co plus 3 has 0. So correct order will be Co plus 3 less than Fe plus 3 less than Mn plus 3 and is less than Cr plus 3, which is our option A. So option A is correct answer for this question. Let's move to the next question. Next question is reactivity of the following on the basis of SN1 mechanism. On the basis of SN1 mechanism. So this question is based on nucleophilic substitution reaction which we discuss in alkyl and aryl halides. Now if we are talking about SN1, so we know reactivity is proportional to stability of carbocation. Reactivity towards SN1, reactivity towards SN1 is directly proportional to the stability of carbocation. Now, if you remove this Br, a carbocation will be formed over here. If you remove this Br, a carbocation will be formed over here. If you remove this Br, a carbocation is formed on this, and if you remove this Br, a carbocation will be formed on this carbon. Now we have to check for the stability of these carbocations. Now in 1 and 2 what we can say is positive charge is formed on bridgehead position. Positive charge is getting formed on bridgehead position which is very less stable, which means 1 and 2 are less stable than 3 and 4. With that logic we have eliminated option 2. So we are left with option 1, 3 and 4. Now between 3 and 4 if you see, positive charge is on carbon, but in case of 4, this positive charge is stabilized by plus M of benzene ring. This positive charge is stabilized by plus M of pH. While in case of third, the positive charge is stabilized by hyperconjugation of these methyl group, in which we can say there are total 9 alpha hydrogen. So between 3 and 4, we can easily see that resonance dominates over hyperconjugation or mesomeric effect dominates over hyperconjugation. That's why 4 has to be more stable than 3. If 4 is more stable than 3, then we have eliminated option number 3. Now we have to go for option 1 and option 2. Now, positive charge on bridgehead position is less stable because attaining planarity is difficult at this position. But if you increase the number of carbon atoms in the bridging ring, then in that case it will become relatively easier to attain planarity, or we can say it is relatively easier for this compound to have positive charge on this carbon when compared with this, which means one has to be more stable than 2, and if one is more stable than 2, it means that one is more reactive than 2 towards SN1 reaction. So if 1 is more than 2, then our correct answer will be option number 1. So this is quotient based on nucleophilic substitution reaction. See, nucleophilic substitution reaction is very important. Reactivity towards SN1 and reactivity towards SN2 is also very important. In this paper, they have asked reactivity towards SN1. So it becomes highly probable that they will ask reactivity towards SN2 in the upcoming paper. So you should revise that point very importantly. Moving to the next question. Next question is from inorganic chemistry. They have given two statements and they are asking which is correct and which is incorrect. So let's read it. Statement 1 says HX bond length is higher in HCl than HF. And statement 2 is the lowest boiling point in hydride of group 15 element is having covalency 4. So we know HX bond length will depend on the size of hydrogen atom and the halogen atom. Now as they are saying HX, X is changing, so ultimately the radius or bond length is depending on the size of the halogen. Now if you talk about chlorine and fluorine, we know size of chlorine is more than fluorine. The size of chlorine atom is more than fluorine atom, which means that HCl bond length is going to be more than the HF bond length. HCl bond length is going to be more than HF bond length, which means statement 1 is correct. They have said HX bond length is higher in HCl than HF, so it is correct. Second statement is lowest boiling point in hydride of group 15 element is having covalency 4. Now lowest boiling point hydride of group 15 will be of pH 3. Lowest boiling point is of pH 3, and we can see that in case of pH 3, phosphorus is forming 3 bonds, so its covalency has to be 3, but they are saying that covalency is 4, which means this statement is incorrect. So the correct answer for this question is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect, which means option 3 is correct answer. This question was from chemical bonding, you can say, or it is using multiple concepts from inorganic chemistry. Moving to next question. Next question is again from organic chemistry. Let's read out the question. A compound A with molecular formula C9H11NO reacts with Br2NaOH to give X. Br2NaOH, it means it has to be Hofmann bromide degradation reaction. Why I am saying so? Because what we can see is all the compounds which they have given, they are having nitrogen. So possibility is it is Hofmann bromide degradation. Now they are saying X on reaction with NaNO2 in dilute HCl gives compound Y. Now this second reaction is our diazotization reaction. Second reaction is diazotization reaction. And then they are saying when Y is treated with CuCN followed by hydrolysis gives Z. A on hydrolysis also gives compound Z. So Hofmann bromide, if you see, then most probably Hofmann bromide, and as per this will go by option number 3. If you see the reactions, what all reactions will take place? First, we have benzene with CO, NH2 and ethyl group is attached. This is compound A. If it is treated with Br2NaOH, then it will give us benzene with NH2 and ethyl group. This is our X. Now this X is treated with NaNO2 and HCl, which means it will be converted to N2 plus Cl minus, and this side we have ethyl. Now this compound is Y. This Y is again treated with CuCN followed by hydrolysis. So CuCN first will convert it to CN, and after hydrolysis it will be converted to COOH. This is compound Z. And this is also true that A can give us Z when it is undergoing hydrolysis, which means the correct answer for this question is option 3. Let's see the next question. Next question is, which of the following statement is correct regarding the nature and directive influence of NO2 group? Now we know NO2 group will show minus M effect. NO2 group, if it is present on benzene, will show minus M effect. Because of this minus M effect, it will be meta directing. Why I am saying? Because this group will decrease the electron density from ortho and para position. So relatively, electron density will be more at meta position, which means electrophile will have a natural tendency to attack at the meta position. That is why this group is known as meta directing group. Now, as it is withdrawing electron from the benzene ring, that's why it is also known as deactivating group. Those groups which withdraws electron from the benzene ring, they are known as deactivating group, and those group which increases the electron density on benzene ring, that is known as activating group. So in this question they are talking about NO2. So NO2 is withdrawing electron from the benzene ring by minus M effect. So that is why it is meta directing in nature and it is a deactivating group. So let's move to the next question. Next question is, consider the following sequence of reaction and identify A, B and C respectively. They have given aniline. It is treated with NaNO2 HCl 0 to 5 degrees centigrade. Then it is treated with H3PO2 and then it is treated with Br2 and FeBr3. So first reaction is our diazotization reaction. If it is diazotization reaction, then it will be converted to benzene diazonium chloride. It will be converted to benzene diazonium chloride. So A is going to be benzene diazonium chloride. Now if you go by the options, there is only one option in which A is benzene diazonium chloride. That's why correct answer for this question is option 2. Now, benzene diazonium chloride is treated with H3PO2. When it is treated with H3PO2, it will be converted to benzene. And benzene with Br2 FeBr3. Br2 FeBr3 will undergo electrophilic substitution reaction. FeBr3 we know is a Lewis acid, and this FeBr3 will generate electrophile. The electrophile in this reaction will be Br plus, which will attack on the benzene. And if Br plus is attacking on benzene ring, then the product of this reaction will be bromobenzene. So what we can say is we have B as benzene, C as bromobenzene, which means option 2 is correct answer. So I hope all these questions are clear. My colleagues will discuss the remaining questions with you.